What's up guys, Coach Matt here today, and today I'm giving you the fitness equivalent of Santa Claus not being real, so get yourselves ready. Hopes and dreams are going to be broken. Some people are going to fight me after this, and it's going to be alright. We're going to get through it, and hopefully your training will be better after it because of this. Alright guys, so today's topic is exercise does not cause weight loss. One more time, exercise does not cause weight loss. Don't try and fight me just yet. So I'd label this topic as one of the biggest fitness myths in the industry. So big that even trainers themselves, strength coaches themselves, can kind of fall into the trap of believing that it is true. The myth here being, guys, that exercise is a key driver in the weight loss process, which is actually false. I do hate to say it. This is something I can still remember from school to this day, is we first talked about this kind of evidence for the fact that exercise doesn't affect weight loss. And this is a room of 30 individuals who all love health and fitness, and you could kind of all see our brains snap simultaneously. Alright class, so do we have any questions on today's lecture? Yeah, just one thing. What the f***? I think it'll be more interesting for me if I just don't address that at all. So what I'm talking about here is when you put a diet intervention next to a diet and physical activity intervention, the net results of both will be the same in terms of weight loss. And that is important there that you keep in mind I am talking specifically about weight loss and not other physiological factors here. Interestingly enough, we have a whole bunch of research supporting this fact. The literature is very clear that when you put a diet intervention next to a diet and physical activity intervention, the net weight loss will be about the same for both interventions, but culturally we haven't kind of wrapped our heads around this, funnily enough. I will say I have noticed a trend of people moving towards the fact that diet is the super important part of the weight loss process, but it's still very prevalent out there that diet and exercise are a 50-50 deal, or that exercise is even more important than diet in terms of weight loss. If I go running for X amount of days, if I lift enough weights for X amount of days, I'm going to lose weights, when realistically it is actually that diet intervention that is doing the brunt of the work here. So since people probably still aren't just taking me at face value here, let me explain how this kind of shakes out. So obviously we have our total daily energy expenditure, which is basically just how many calories we burn over the course of the day, and this is broken up into 3 different things here. So our first one, and of course our biggest one, is obviously our basal metabolic rate, and that's chewing up about 70% of our total daily energy expenditure, give or take about 10%. Obviously this can change from person to person, and unfortunately you're just kind of dealt the hand that you're dealt with your basal metabolic rate. There are some things that can kind of change it, like losing weight, but other than that you are kind of dealing with what you got. Our next one here is called the thermic effect of food, and basically what this is just your body using energy to digest the food that you've eaten each day, and this is taking up about 10% of our total daily energy expenditure. Again, give or take about 10%, maybe 5% for that. And the last one, which we do have control of, is of course physical activity here. And when people think physical activity, they're obviously thinking exercise, but this actually includes anything as small as even just the energy it takes me to move my finger here. And that's accounting for 20%, give or take the 10% again, for your total daily energy expenditure. I don't know if I've said that enough times in this video, but the physical activity is all those movements you're doing. Exercise is a smaller subset of physical activity. So that's the breakdown on how we expend calories. How we intake calories is 100% controlled by food. So obviously you can already see how this whole exercise isn't too good for weight loss thing is shaking out. We have 100% of our calorie intake being controlled by the food we eat, and the smaller percentage, 20%-ish, of the calories we actually expend being controlled by physical activity. And remember, exercise is a smaller subset of that 20%. So now you're thinking, okay, even though it's a small subset, it's still something that I control. So if I'm doing, 500 calories of exercise per day, over the course of a week, that's technically a pound of fat. 3,500 calories is around a pound of fat. It unfortunately doesn't really shake out that way. So logically, yes, it does kind of look like, well, I'm moving a lot more than I usually would be. I'm burning so and so many calories in my workouts. This should be helping my weight loss overall in the long term. And unfortunately, it seems that we kind of compensate for the calories that we burn in exercise. This is something that's a little less understood, but kind of theories behind it would be, when we do all of that exercise, we tend to eat more, and you might not even notice this. It might just be your brain subconsciously telling you, we expended this much energy, so we're going to eat a few more calories to make up for that, is one way we kind of compensate. And the other kind of main theory here is that when we do exercise, we end up moving less over the course of the day. So, maybe we end up walking a bit less. We tend to be more sedentary after exercise bouts. So why am I telling you what seems to just be all bad news? And that is because I want to help you guys not waste your time. So if you have a weight loss goal, I want you to understand that that diet plan is your most important part of the equation here. A lot of people are still kind of caught up on thinking that exercise is a huge part of it, and I want you to understand that you could accomplish your weight loss goals and not even have an exercise plan in place. Okay, so this obviously begs the question, why keep physical activity in my programming at all? And the key here is that all of this has been specifically about weight loss. Physical activity has profound benefits across the board in terms of better sleep, better energy levels, reducing your risks for all sorts of diseases and increased mortality rates. Physical activity has so many profound benefits that are well researched as to why you should be keeping your programming. It's just weight loss really isn't one of them. So while this is kind of, depressing to hear at first, it's super important to understand, guys, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here and just say everything you know is a lie. I'm trying to help you out with your weight loss goals and understanding why maybe an exercise intervention hasn't been working for you. Maybe you just needed to put more focus on that diet plan and things will be working out a lot faster for you and a lot more steady for you. So hopefully you guys don't hate me for this video. I really do think this is an important piece of information to know, and it's something that culturally we don't understand as a whole, which is why I think it's important to kind of spread this around. If you guys have any questions at all with this, because I know it's kind of a weird thing to wrap your head around, just drop them down in the comments below or send me a personal message and I will get back to you on that. Alright guys? Overall recapping, exercise, while not the best weight loss tool, does have profound benefits to your health. So keep it in your programming, but understand if you guys have weight loss goals that you're going to want to be focusing in on that diet plan. But that's it guys. Thanks so much for watching and hope to catch you all in the next video. I'll see you guys.